All right. So,
Hey, let me interrupt you. I know you normally start off the show another way, but I want to do something a little different real quick. I'd like to make a shout out to D. Hey, brother, I really hope you're doing good, man. I hope you beat this, and accept my friend request. I sent one today. That's it.
it's all good. It's all good. I spoke to a mutual friend of ours, and she's in the, let's say, sports medicine field. And no, she's a trainer, and she also does all the taping and stuff for the athletes. And she said that he lost a lot of weight because of the kidneys shutting down, but they're coming back, so that's a good sign. So hopefully,
hey, can you drop the volume?
Turn up,
down
of the music.
Yeah, you're much today.
Of course I can.
Perfect. Oh yeah, nice. That's much better. Thank you. My apologies for interrupting.
No, hold
that
on.
Kind of day. It's a flower kind of day.
Oh, this is not good.
I'm visiting my dad just to say, because I know you know that. It was he passed last year, and his birthday was the other day. So today's a smoking kind of day.
And there we go.
Welcome back, sir.
Beautiful. Okay. So, I guess we could start off with news of sorts. A wife in the Ukraine sold out her husband and his platoon to the Russians in exchange for a promise of Russian citizenship and the comfortable life once they take the region. Now, yes, that's a sad state of affairs. Okay, and yes, she was found out by the Ukraine equivalent of the Secret Service or the FBI or whatever, or Homeland Security. And she's been apprehended.
No way.
Oh yeah, they found her there. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, but that kind of brings me to a serious question, and that is, why would family betray family? I mean, she put her husband's life at risk and possibly her kids, definitely her neighbors.
Man,
I
I know situations, and I mean, I have some. Well, anyway, whatever. Not to get too personal or anything, but it does happen where sometimes it's the other side, the spouse. Money's more important. The comfortable life is more important. Maybe that's what they were in the relationship in the first place. Maybe have something like that. And they thought they were going to and just didn't and went for the easy way. They think maybe the money is going to buy them the happiness that they fucked that person over. Sad.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, I've heard that money is the root of all evil, or the love of money is the root of all evil.
How much? Put it this way, everybody's got a price. What's yours?
That's the thing. I don't got a price.
Not necessarily money.
Well,
maybe it's your life. Let's say I gave you 10 more years. What's that worth to you? If I pay for $5 and give you $1 million for all that, and it makes you live longer, but it comes with a price.
I mean, if you could guarantee me a large-breasted American woman, that'd be my price.
See? Everyone's got a price. It doesn't have to be cash.
But I was just thinking, because I come from a big family, and several of us were in the military. And how would I feel if my family dropped a dime on my platoon? Where would my loyalty lie, with my platoon or my family?
That's
and because my youngest brother, he was in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was in the Army. I was in the Navy.
All my brothers were in the military except for 2.
You know, and I'm just thinking about it going, okay, what if I was on the nuclear sub like I was, you know, back in the day,
150 sailors go down, 75 couples come.
and someone in my family, my fiance or my sister or whatever, told the Russians where my nuclear sub was.
Man, that's nuts.
You know, how many people were on it? I mean, she gave specifics. How many people were in the platoon, where they were, what they were, you know, what they had. She sold them out.
Clearly didn't care much for them. You know, not enough. That's insane. So, or maybe they said that, hey, look, we're not going to hurt them. We're just going to catch and release kind of thing. It's all right. Maybe
well, they get. She basically got a guarantee that when the Russians...
she said, when we get your husband, we'll bring him back to you. You guys can be free in the new land. Maybe they lied flat out to her too when she bought it. Maybe that's what her price was. Maybe her price was, because I didn't read the story. I have no idea what it said. But I'm just saying that maybe her thought was that they approached her or whatever, and she wanted it. She was all for saving their lives and thought that maybe she was saving their lives by providing that information, and it had the opposite effect. They used it.
They said basically that she did it because she was promised citizenship by the Russians once they take over the territory.
Well, there goes my doubt. That's sad, man. That's sad.
Citizenship and the good life once they take over the region.
Okay, so she's got a few more potatoes in her vodka.
Right. Right. Now I was thinking, could I mean, if someone came up to me and said, "Give me dirt on your brother or your sister,
yeah,
and I'll give you whatever you want," would I do it?
You would be another matter. Sure.
I mean, some of my relatives really suck.
But no one sucks that much.
Right.
No
right.
one
That's
deserves
the
to be
thing.
told about. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I take that back. There's a couple of people I've considered, and I'm not talking family. Just names I've come across in my life.
I mean, well, like I said, I come from a big Italian family.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'm
there
aware.
were seven kids in my family.
I know most
7 kids.
Family, sure.
7 kids in my aunt's family on my father's side. Yeah, oh yeah, we were a big family. I had 7 cousins from my aunt, 3 cousins from my other aunt, 2 cousins from my uncle. We were, a huge, close-knit
Yeah, that's a small family.
And I think my Aunt Rose had 6 or 7.
My brother
my
Brad had like 20. Just one kid. You know? He had 20. Like 18, I think. From 2 marriages. Yeah, we had a big family. Not cousins.
He needs to have that tied off. That's what...
I won't tell you what he had in his second marriage.
Oh, that was his first. Oh,
that
yay.
was his first. My apologies. I probably shouldn't have said his name. Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, he's gonna watch this, and you are now on the bad list for the year.
Right? Good swimmers.
So, yeah. You know, that's something I haven't done either in a long time. I did. I went into my brother's pool recently. It was the first time in like 10 years I've been in a pool or in water. Not in water. I take showers and shit, but I mean, you know.
You take a sonic shower, right?
Yeah. So I, you know, I was thinking back to my, you know, when I was a kid, we used to go to the town park all the time and go swimming.
Yeah, me too.
You know, made a lot of friends there. They put me in the Times Union, and I got a letter from the governor, or was it? I think it was. No. I got a letter from the. He was a senator, Alphonse D'Amato.
I remember. I know. Yeah.
Congratulating me for making the paper.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I was just hanging out with a bunch of my.
You made the paper. Wow.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends. I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends in East Greenwich Park, and we were a couple of us were on an inner tube, like a car tire.
Yeah.
And they took our picture, And then they interviewed us and asked us, generic questions like, how do you like the park and blah, blah, blah. And are you from around there? And they put my name in under the picture caption.
Or something.
No. That was later on. That was when I was 17. We were driving. It was New Year's Eve, as a matter of fact. We were driving by. We were driving to my parents' house because my father always had this rule that you had to be there when the ball dropped.
Right. Yeah.
And we were on our way. We were making good time when we saw a house on fire. And we're talking big flames. So we stopped because there were cars in the driveway.
Now you mentioned it, I remember that.
And it was right across the street from a police station, but they were having their Christmas party or New Year's Eve party that night and didn't know that the house across the street from them was on fire. So, yeah. So we had to split up. One of us went into the house looking for people. The other person ran across the street and was banging on the door, trying to get their attention. And then I was interviewed by the newspaper and a detective, but it was put in as what were they, anonymous Samaritan or whatever. So my father got really pissed because he says it doesn't say your name in it. So how do I know it's you? And I'm like, I just told your story before it hit the paper. I mean, doesn't that work? I was in trouble for a little bit until the cops actually called me and wanted me to come in for an interview and all that shit.
Right.
But yeah, that's the type of family we had. If you're not together with the family on New Year's Eve, you're in deep shit.
Yeah, we didn't really have anything like that. I mean, nothing that. I mean, whatever. We understood. Our families. We had stuff going on with everybody. Like I live far away. But growing up, though, yeah, we always have that iron tradition.
Move a little closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I like that iron tradition. That was good. Yep, the holidays was always good with family. I can't say we were one of those families that ever had a, where somebody was stupid to bring up politics or other bullshit. We never had that. I always thought that was pretty good.
Oh, so you guys never talk politics?
We try not to. Well, they can, but my politics is quite different from the rest of them. For a lot of it. The siblings, not the siblings, the nieces and nephews and stuff like that are more aligned with me. But the adults that are where I'm at are really not. They're somewhere else.
So do you avoid politics and talk about other stuff, or do you do you avoid them?
No, I don't avoid them. But I don't bring politics up. To my dad, I used to, because we had an understanding. There was always, at the end of the conversation, we would always agree on something every time.
Okay.
And we always had that respect. He hated my politics. He told me one of the last things he said to me, and believe me, in fact, excellent. I love his conversations. He's like, I fucking hate your politics, but I love you. Yeah, and that's how we were. I always was able to speak my mind, say anything I wanted to, as long as it was in a respectful way, of course. And he was always the same, And even though we were 180 from our politics, we always agreed on something.
My mother was the type of person who would tell you, no matter how old you are, listen, I love you, but I don't like you very much.
Never had that from my
Oh yeah, my mother used to tell us all the time. I don't like you right now, but I love you, but I don't like you right now.
No, there was a lot of work on the relationship, but it kept it real, it kept it honest. I really like that. I really appreciated that.
Me and my father, we had a different kind of relationship. It was violent at times.
Yeah, Mars too. No, very much.
But we had an understanding, and I think that came about when I was about 17 or 18.
That ended when I confronted mine. I confronted him in the violence, and that kind of behavior stopped.
No, I confronted
a level understanding, and I was more than but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We had a nose to nose. At which point, I forgot that he was left-handed, and he punched me in the mouth and broke my teeth.
Oh man, no, he never did anything like that to me.
So yeah, I mean, but what happened was, he basically kicked me out of the house at one point, and while I was still in high school, and
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, and my mom would would communicate with me every so often on the phone.
Yeah,
And I said, why hasn't Dad even, he's never said anything. He's never even tried to talk to me. And she said, you don't know this, but your dad drives by where you're staying every night to make sure that you're okay. And he said that he's not worried about you. I said, what do you mean? He said, because out of all the children, he thinks you're the one that can handle themselves in any situation and you'll be just fine.
My dad said,
and at that point, I grew so much respect for my dad to see that I wasn't just a screw up,
That's cool. I respect that.
Yeah. So after that, we had
you and I had a parallel for a while. I didn't know that. Interesting. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the share.
Do you remember? Do you know where Bruin Rescue Squad is right now?
Oh yeah. The new
okay.
one? No, I know the old.
Okay.
Prospect Heights.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me.
Not Prospect. Bruin is over by Hampton Manor, right? Yeah, the one that stood on the hill by toward Hampton Manor Lake. Was that Bruin?
I think that's Clinton Heights.
Yeah, that could be Clinton Heights. Anyway, I knew where they were. They were Bruin.
Right. You know the intersection over by Columbia High School off of Route 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that building right there. Yeah, just off the circle.
Yeah, if you take that left, or if you go through the circle and you take the left down Red Mill Road, or whatever it is, right on the left there, right on the left there was a restaurant years ago when we were growing up, and it burnt down.
I don't remember
it. It caught fire, so they closed it. So me and a couple friends were staying in the freezer or the one of the coolers or freezers that was in the basement. The big metals. Yeah. We'd put a couch down there and did that, and we were staying down there. And my dad used to drive by all the time, apparently, to check to make sure that I was okay.
I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew back then. We're in a similar position back then. Yeah, man. Yep. That's strange. We had that parallel, and neither one of us knew. I didn't know those dark years of my life. I knew you before and after.
Right.
Yeah, I would love my niece to offer me a drink. Thank you. You're awesome. I love my niece very much.
She seems very nice. What the hell just happened?
Oh.
You just left and came back.
No, I'm here. Hi.
No, you did. You left and came back.
Oh, did you get that whole niece thing when she offered me a drink or what?
I saw when she offered you a drink. Then when you went to whisper something, you disappeared.
Ah. I said she's my favorite niece.
I'm not going to tell her a thing.
She heard me. She laughed. Nah, man. I knew she were very, very close in age. My sister had her when she was quite young, and my sister and I are pretty close in age. So my niece and I are pretty close.
Let me ask you a question. Being so close in age to your sister, were you guys mortal enemies or best friends?
Yeah. Yeah. She used to beat my ass when I was young, all the time. One day, my dad said, "Okay, I'm tired of this bullshit." So he put us down in the garage, or in the basement, like he used to do with the other boys, and say, "Okay, fight it out. You guys want to fight so much?" Yeah, we didn't fight. Not after that. No, never fought again. But she was much taller than I was at the time.
Would you say after that you were best friends, or you were just
I've always
friends?
loved my sister. My sister saved my life more times than I care to admit sometimes. Like when I was home. In the middle of winter up here in New York. And yes, I'm up here in New York now, even though I live in NWA. I'm at my niece now. But anyway, she saved me a lot. I owe her. We got issues now and again, but nonetheless, she's very, very dear to me. So,
that's cool.
No matter what.
I have
people like throwaway family, but never. It's too in my core. It's
I have
not.
si-
My genes are
I have
different.
siblings I don't talk to. I
I
had
might not speak to you, but they're still here. They're
I had
still
two sisters that I couldn't stand. Okay, growing up, I just couldn't stand them. The older sister, not older than me, but the older of the two.
I can't say I
Um,
remember your sisters. I'm sure I probably met them before, but I can't say I remember.
Oh, I'm sure you would if you um heard her name because it wasn't very. It was an
Yeah,
unusual
another time.
name.
Sure, we'll talk.
Yeah, but my oldest sister, I really protected her, and she had no clue, just like my dad did for me.
Right.
And my younger sister, she was just a pain in the ass, and I didn't want to deal with her. I mean, she was like 10 years younger than me, 9 years younger than me, and I was just like, I have no time for you in my life. You were just an annoying little twerp. She would do things like stand over by the front door, see me in the kitchen, and yell, "Mom, Lou just hit me. Lou just hit me," and then I'd get in trouble. Even though I'm across the room and was nowhere near her.
She makes a fantastic drink. Oh my god. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So it's did this happen again?
I lost you. I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I see a coffee cup.
Okay, hold up. Why is
That's
this?
funny.
There we go.
Man, I'm on Wi-Fi out in the yard. Yeah. Okay.
No, I had hit a USB drive, and it screwed up my.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, I should. But now I can tolerate my youngest sister in small doses, and my older sister I can't stand her. It's like the roles are
I just
reversed.
refuse to go down that road. That's why. I don't go down that road with family. I probably should. Because one, I'll leave it at that. I probably should sometimes, but I'm ingrained another way. I'm just not capable of cutting ties with my family. Sometimes I've thought about it. I would say, I will admit, but I love it too deep in my soul. It's not. I can't do anything else. But it is.
You see, that's where we're different. I don't have a soul.
Yeah, you do. It's in there. I've seen it. You have it.
Shut up, Matt.
It's in there, buddy.
Nobody knows.
No, you showed a little today. If I say so myself, I like that about you. Yeah, but
Well, I'll
more
tell
than
you this,
think,
and
my friend.
you've known me since third grade, and I'll tell you, I'm as real as they come. But I was brought up right, which is why I didn't tell you about the food until after we were alone.
Well, but yeah, you should have brought that up to the waitress. In my opinion, I would have too, because they would have probably comped the whole table.
Well, no, you were bringing me somewhere,
So what? It's not about that.
And-
It's not my fault. You're meal bad. It's the person that was doing the cooking. That love wasn't on the plate, and that's what it is.
And there was
if
already
you present it to somebody another way. Hey, one sec. When you critique someone's food, if you present it in such a way, they're not going to spit in it. Hey, I'm sorry. Look, this is just maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they did whatever. I'm sorry, but it's not good. And if you present it in such a way that no one's insulted, you're going to get a perfect meal back. Like Timmy, they skipped his meals. Not only did they comp it, but I really think that was perfectly cooked, and it was expensive too.
Right, but here's my thing. You had already had a problem with his food, and then to have a problem with my food, it would make me.
Sometimes it happens. But you know what? I say this because they won't learn. They won't grow unless they get that kind of information. Nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, especially cooks. And the only way they're going to know they're making, and I know a lot of good cooks, and they make mistakes. And they like it when people say, hey, I'm sorry, this isn't right. But I'm not an asshole about it.
Oh, so yelling and screaming at them?
Yeah, there's no need for that. They make mistakes. If you treat it in such a way, you're going to get a better product in the end. That's why our tips are good. Did you see how many times they came back from our table? We had a manager come to our table. It was unnecessary. They were great. I would definitely go back to them. What I had was fantastic. It was excellent. They tried. Sometimes things fuck up. Maybe you got distracted for a second doing your food. No reason. Hey, I'm sorry, buddy. Here you go. Try again. Do that at my house. If I'm cooking food for you, man, if it's not good, I can make more.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how I.
that's different. But here's the thing. I know that your son recommended it, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings and make him think, oh shit, I recommended some
no,
shitty
you
place.
wouldn't have- but you wouldn't have though. See, that's the thing. Him and I are a lot alike, and surprisingly alike. You wouldn't have insulted him at all, or my niece, or my nephew, even for that matter. Nope, there was no. Why would you insult us? It's not our fault. It's the cook's fault. It's the waitress for not checking it. She could have checked it. You know, there's a few
Yeah.
things she could have done. She could have tasted your potatoes. She should have. You know, they go at the very, very bottom with a clean spoon, and they taste the food. Make sure it's still good before it goes to the customer. That's a good restaurant. The cook should have tasted it before he gave it to the server. He didn't. He didn't check it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're a cog in the wheel. You're paying $20 for a fucking hamburger. It needs to be a $20 hamburger. I can go to McDonald's and get it. I hear you. I lost you for a minute. Does that make more sense? Do you see what I mean? That has nothing to do with me. I didn't do anything wrong. You're not insulting me. No offense. There's no offense to me. But anyway, it was cool. It worked out. I mean, I hope it worked out. You know, I'm glad it was.
Yeah,
something
everything-
we continued to eat.
Yeah, everything was fine. I mean, it wasn't fine, but it was edible. Like I said, you know,
Well, yeah, like I said, you're paying $20 for a hamburger. It better be a $20 friggin' hamburger. You know, I can go down to the store and buy some premium whatever at a store and cook it at home myself. You know, I don't need to go to a restaurant. So, you know, people do it because they want the convenience. They want to relax and do something else. You know, and not do it. It's for the convenience. So that's why you go to a nice place if you want good food. You know, you go to Burger King if you don't care.
So Matt, I was thinking, we did a show in the very beginning, me and PJ, where we talked about him and his hobbies, and you know, we discussed his hockey and whatnot, and people got a chance to get to know a little bit more about him. So I was thinking maybe in a
put me on the spot, aren't you?
in a future video, we would like to know more about Matt.
Yeah,
more
I'm
about
open,
his, you know, your
if
experience
it's
with.
too personal, I just want to answer it. But yeah,
No, it'll be more about your experience in the military, your experience with planes, things that you did, you know, career wise and
Sure.
hobby wise that are.
okay.
I think after that, it'll be my turn. And
Yeah, I
nobody
was just gonna
wants
say
it
that,
to be
buddy.
my turn.
But then that means I get to interview you.
Yes,
I'm cool with
absolutely.
that. You'd be my first interview. You pop it, dude. That's fine. I'll take that. Does that mean I
So-
got a glass of wine?
Oh yeah, you get yeah. So we're
You
running
can say
down
something,
on the half.
Jimmy.
I'm doing something for Jackson's school lunch thing. Take a
We're
look.
running down on the half hour here.
Here, let me immortalize my niece real quick, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Quick.
Hi.
That's it.
Wait, you left me again.
No.
You stopped doing it?
She's on the internet forever now. That's all I wanted to do.
Oh,
Well, we're getting down to the half hour. So
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I apologize for having to cut it short. I really do appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
no, it's
But I
all,
really
it's
do
all
need to
good.
see my sister. I want to.
I
Love my
understand, and
sister.
I want to talk about something real quick.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
We did a video about a missing girl who disappeared at a party,
listen to this.
and they declared it a homicide
Mhm.
or
I remember.
you know, a death, and they had found her car under 14 feet of water.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she was in the vehicle. I don't recall the story, but that case is closed now. So we have none at this moment.
Right, because they found the case of that little girl you've been doing for about 6 months or so.
Right. They didn't find her body, but they declared her
Well,
deceased.
they had enough biological evidence to realize that she was fine. Which means they're probably fine when she was let out. That's probably what happened.
They still don't have anyone in custody for that, though.
No, but they at least know what happened to her. She's gone for sure. There's no doubt about it. And my apologies for insensitivity. I really feel shitty about that situation. I really had hoped they found her alive. You know, I honestly did. I really hope they find her.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I was more worried that she was being human trafficked than if she
right,
was
exactly. Yeah,
deceased.
so that's typically what happens. I hate to say, yeah.
Especially since her father was a habitual drug abuser, and it wouldn't put. I wouldn't put it past anyone to sell their child for that money.
I was trying to find missing. Sorry, I'm explaining this.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. But we've been away for a while, and I want to apologize for that, and I want to say that, you know, going forward, we're going to be as consistent as possible.
And
dealing with the
opinions and critiques are welcome.
Yes. So, with that being said, Matt, we are officially ending this broadcast. I will see you all in the funny papers.